Hi, it's Paris from EpicReviewGuys back to do some spring product reviews, and we're going to start out with a brand new design in hose called the Clear Flow Hose.
EpicReviewGuys.
This is an entire 50-foot hose right here that I can easily hold with one hand. Should be pretty easy to move around the yard and also to clean up because it rolls back up into this shape. As you can see, it is clear, and there are several reasons for that. Pretty clever reasons. You've probably seen TV news reports about don't let your kids drink out of the garden hose. There's actually known carcinogens in that get leached into the water, or in the case of summer, baked into the water by the heat on that plastic, and then the chemicals come out into the water. If you drink it, it's not good for you. And then of course you're going to take that same hose to water your vegetables in your garden. One of the advantages of this clear hose is they don't use any chemicals to make it that are dangerous, so you can drink the water from this and let your kids and dog and plants all drink that water. It's perfectly fine. Another good point, and I've had this happen, is when you leave a dark hose out in the sun in the summer, that water gets hot. If you forget about that, you can not only scald your own hand, you can marinate your kids when they go to run through the sprinkler, but the water coming out is so hot. With a clear plastic hose, the water doesn't get that accelerated heating going on from being in a dark colored hose. And another advantage of it being clear, which is pretty obvious when you think about it, is sunlight has UV light that kills bacteria, molds, different things like that. When you leave the water sitting in your regular hose, not only does the water get warm, but it's an ideal condition for stuff to grow. So that's why when you do drink out of the hose, it has that musty, weird smell coming out. With this, with it being clear, the sunlight actually works on the water in the hose to kill those kinds of things, so you're not as likely to get those moldy bacterial growths going on in the water. It all sounds good in theory, and there are some other features and benefits to this, but does it work as a hose? Time to take it in the backyard and give it a try, comparing it to our regular old standard garden hose. Here's the connector. It's nylon, not brass like some of the, as seen on TV, hoses have started going towards, so it stays lightweight and easy to carry around. Seems to fit on there pretty well. And you can see how skinny this is when you start. Now under pressure, it's going to balloon up, and there are some special rules for when you turn it off. You can't leave it pressurized or it won't have this stay flat shape anymore. I just threw the hose out and away from the faucet. It's supposed to be non-kink. We'll see how that goes after a few pressurizations and depressurizations. Get it out to its 50-foot length. Okay. From the other hoses that I have reviewed, from the faucet over to this fence is about 50 feet. You can see how it is clear and the sunlight goes right through it onto the grass below. Okay, let's give it a try. Haven't turned this on since last fall. It's on pretty tight. There we go. And there goes water. It's already coming out the other end. Oh, pretty good pressure. I can feel the hose vibrating kind of funny in my hand, like it wants to expand to let more water through, but it's arguing between being flat and being round. Trying to pressurize it just with my thumb. Can't quite get it to get round. I'll put a nozzle on it and see. And I pulled it back across the yard, we got fish. Looks kind of nervous about something. Let's turn the water off. The idea is if you lay it out flat, it will drain all the water out. Looks like it's going back to pretty flat. Yeah, it's drained here. Still a little water in it here. Part of the advantage with that self-draining feature is if you leave it out when it's freezing, the hose won't pop because most of the water will have drained out. Okay, I have added a nozzle, so we should get some good pressure here. Turn the water back on. Let's see what happens. Okay. It's gotten round. It's gotten round. With the pressure having the nozzle on the end, it allowed it to completely fill up. Let's see how much water we get out the end of it now. Oh, that's pretty good. The water's not coming out so fast that it depressurizes the hose, so it's a good balance. Yeah, I'm able to shoot it at least 30 feet. Good. Well, it doesn't look so nervous anymore. Looks like it's just lying there ready to be used. Let me turn the water off. Now, there's really nowhere for the pressure to go here, so I think this is what they're telling you. You have to relieve the pressure. At least hold the handle in on the nozzle or actually take it off. There's still going to be a lot of pressure here, basically as much as if the water were still turned on for the first few seconds. So you have to be careful. Yeah, still a lot of pressure. And I can see the hose flattening out as I'm doing this. Here's our standard garden hose. It's also 50 feet. Let's add some water, take a look. Oh, it's already coming out the other end. That was quick. And this is, of course, with no nozzle on the end, just loose. Still going to get pretty much full pressure here. Yeah. This is one thing that the other hose didn't really do because it stayed flat until you really got it pressurized. Okay, with the nozzle on, the regular garden hose, turn on the water. Of course, we don't see anything move or happen. And with that same pressure, let's see how far we can shoot this. A little bit further. I'm thinking another 5 or 10 feet further this one seems to shoot. And if I like, I can just drop it on the ground like this, turn the water off at the faucet, and come back and pick up the next day where I left off. I don't have to worry about leaving the pressure in the hose. Here are the ends of the two hoses. You can see the difference in the diameter that the water can pass through. It's never going to be quite as much with this hose. Now, I personally put the hose on the faucet in the spring and leave it there all the way through summer. So moving the hose around isn't such a big deal for me, but if you do need to take the hose and move it, you can see the difference in the size, and I can tell you there's a big difference in the weight. Also, because this one does lie flat, you can throw it over your shoulder and wind it up into a very small space if you need to bring it in or put it in a shed or something like that. I don't know if you can see the bubbles moving through it as it finishes its self-draining. So first time out, I kind of like the clear flow hose. I'll have to try it out for a while to see about all the features they talk about. Now, I will be reviewing the new and improved, yet again, pocket hose where they've actually added brass fittings on the end. I don't think that's going to fix the problem that the expandable, contractible hoses have had, which mostly seems to be that they use this sort of surgical rubber hose inside the nylon mesh, and if that gets poked or rubbed across concrete the wrong way, it just pops the hose like that, and that's the end of it. But do check back for our review of this, and maybe I'll compare them side by side. This does have some of the benefits of this type of hose compared to the regular garden hose that you can't ever do much with, and it's just always sprawled across the driveway and the lawn. This one is lightweight, portable if you need to move your hose around to different faucets in your house to use. Also, it fits into a small space when you're done with it, though you do have to take it and like roll it up on your arm, whereas this one will just shrink back up into a much smaller size. Now let's talk price. I can't find the 50-foot version of this on Amazon. They make one, but I guess it's sold out right now. All they have is the 100-foot. That goes for $89. Now on their website, you can go and click a thing and fill out your email, and they'll send you a 15% off coupon. So that brings that 100-footer down to about 75 bucks. Still kind of pricey. I imagine a 50-foot would go for $40 to $50. Maybe there'd still be the coupon, I don't know. A little more expensive than a good quality regular garden hose. This one, since it's the new and improved pocket hose, I think this was about $35. So you're looking at spending maybe about $10 more than you would for this hose. But if it lasts 10 years, doesn't kink up, if you happen to leave it out on a night when it freezes, you're not going to ruin your hose. It doesn't get that scalding hot water when you leave it out on a summer's day. And you can actually feel okay about filling the dog's water bowl with this water or pouring this water on the vegetables that you're going to eat. So I'll give the Clear Flow garden hose a conditional. It's pretty clever. It seems to have some of the advantages of these expandable, contractible hoses while getting rid of some of the downside. If you want to see what other people said about this particular hose, they really said nice things. It has like 4.9 out of 5 stars on Amazon. So a lot of people really like it. I'll put a link to that down below this video. We'll be trying this out in the next day or two. I really think I'm going to compare these two and see if there's a hose of the year for 2015.
Shopping is easy when you know what to buy. At EpicReviewGuys, we give it a try. What does the fox buy? Nobody knows. But before he goes shopping, he watches our video.